starting the season, new faces, your first year as head coach. What kind of foundation do you feel like you've been able to set in these first 37 games?
Yeah, I think I look at it. I think most importantly that we're building a team. We're defining roles and identity at both ends, and the team is bonding, and there's a great environment and atmosphere forming. So that's the review of the first half for me in a nutshell. I think we definitely got to continually fight for improvement. Invest in each other and those bonds, and defensively play like underdogs, because that's something that's going to take us a long way if we can get ourselves to a greater level at that end of the floor.
Another triple-double for James Harden. Can you name one thing that really jumps out that he brought to the team that either was missing or hadn't yet manifested itself?
I think the playmaking is obvious. He's such a brilliant distributor, playmaker, makes the game easy for others and makes others better. For me, though, the surprise, I knew that was no surprise. What's been, I don't want to say surprise, but I didn't know what his patterns of behavior were. And so his leadership, his professionalism, being a good teammate, like all those things, he's been outstanding. So that's been, really incredible to, I think, not only for us as coaches, but for his teammates to have a player that gifted, but ticks all those boxes as well.
Bruce Beck with NBC New York.
Steve, at the break, you've had the big three for only 7 games. You've had Kevin for just 19 of the 37. So my question for you is, how much better can this team get?
We can definitely improve. Kevin Durant's one of the all-time greats. So to add him to our team will make us better automatically. But we still can improve with our cohesion, that continuity of having hopefully some health for an extended period of time. We can get better defensively, our understanding and refining our schemes and learning to feel tighter together with them. That's a big part of it, not just knowing what to do, but knowing who you're playing with and how you can communicate and make things easier or more effective. So plenty of areas to improve in, and that's the fun. That's the fun, is seeing growth and seeing improvement.
Ryan Lewis with the New York Post.
Hey, Steve. James on court was acknowledging that he may have tried to do a little bit too much early, causing some of the turnovers. But obviously he clearly settled in. I'm curious, could you tell how much this was meaning to him and how excited he was to be out there? And did something that he did settle him in, or something somebody said to him, or was it just the way the Rockets were trying to trap the ball out of his hands?
Yeah. You could tell it meant something to him. This place is special for James. Houston means a lot to him, the city, the organization, what he accomplished here with these teams. So, I know it was a big game for him. I was, proud of him for the way he handled it. I think the turnovers in the first half, I don't even know if, I want to put all that on him. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes when you're trying to create for your team at the rate that he does, you're going to turn it over. They were trapping a little bit, and maybe it was 1 or 2 were careless. We added all up, and there was a few too many turnovers. But he also did a lot of great things, and then finally settled in. I mean, you look at his stat line: 3 steals, a block to go with the triple-double. So, outstanding performance.
Alex Schiffer with The Athletic.
Hey, Steve, in the third quarter, I want to say it was when the Rockets were starting to shave off the lead a little bit. It looked like in that timeout, you kind of pulled Kyrie aside and had your hand on his shoulders and were saying something to him. Was the message don't force or stop pressing a little bit, or was it something else you were trying to get across to him there?
No, I was just checking in with him, making sure he's okay, and making sure he's in the right frame of mind. And, these are tricky games. The last game before a break, you got a short window to spend time with loved ones. For Kai and James, they got to go to All-Star weekend. It's tricky mentally when you play such an intense schedule, and then you have one game before you're free, and it's kind of like the last day of school. It's hard to focus, and so I was just kind of checking in and making sure he was okay, and he played well down the stretch and made some big shots.
Christian Winfield with the New York Daily News.
Hey, Coach. similar time frame. You guys were up 23 in the third quarter. Rockets cut it down to 10, and then you guys extended back out to 18. Same thing happens in the fourth quarter, and the Rockets cut that 18-point lead down to 10, and then you guys just blew it open. Have you seen, I guess, growth in the team's response to adversity? And can you just talk about how they've matured in that way over the season?
Yeah, I mean, I think, on the one hand, you're disappointed that we allowed them to get back to 10 a couple of times. On the other hand, they did a great job of extending the lead immediately. We call a timeout, we draw a play, we get a bucket, get a stop, we're back on it. So it's hard in this league. You play a team, they got nothing to lose. They had 8 players, they have total freedom and green light, and they're going to go on little runs when they make shots, and they did that. They made their threes tonight. So, I'm proud of our group's growth over the first half, and that's one of the things I think we have shown, like overtime the other night against San Antonio. They come back from an 8-point deficit within 2 minutes, and we could have folded. We came out in overtime, bang, bang, and put ourselves back up 6 or 8 right away. So, it's a great response, competitive group, and, I'm proud of them for that response.
Laura Albanese with Newsday.
Nicholas Claxton, he's a player who obviously has a lot of promise, but was a little bit of an unknown entity since he was hurt for so long. What have you seen from him in the last few weeks? And what do you think about his makeup has allowed him to just adapt and mature to the game so quickly when he doesn't have much experience?
Yeah. Well, it's been rough for him. 20 months or so he's been in the NBA. He's played very few games. He probably hasn't played for a year until this week. But, we all see the potential. He's a long, athletic, mobile, modern 5 who can dribble, pass, finish around the rim, be a lob threat, and he can defend on the perimeter or inside. So we see the potential. We worry a little bit about him adapting back to the physical demands, after such a long layoff. But, he's got himself through a few games here a week, and we're keeping his minutes down, but he's growing, he's performing. I mean, you look at him tonight, 16 points, 8 rebounds in limited minutes. That's outstanding. So, but we try to keep Nick his feet on the ground, keep him humble and hungry, and little bit by little bit not get ahead of himself, because if he just stays the course and keeps his head down, he's going to really be a good player.
Last question, back to Christian Winfield with the Daily News.
Not sure if we're going to be able to talk to you between now and after the All-Star break, but what are you going to do with this time? Is there such thing as off time, or are you going to be knee-deep in film looking at ways to get better?
Well, I'm going to try to do a bit of both. I'm going to try to go away with my wife if we can, and then start to regroup and think about the second half. How can we improve? What is our plan here to make sure we're not missing any levels of our improvement or layers of our improvement, and just take a step back and take a broader view, and then get more granular with our design and all the things that we need to do coming out of the break.
Thanks so much, Coach. We appreciate it.